Okay, guys. So I've tried to go live a few times, and it's not working. YouTube is seemingly having problems at the moment with going live. So I'm going to pre-record a couple of the videos today, put them up, and then hopefully they can get it working by tomorrow. So I apologize, guys, obviously, and everybody who obviously hasn't or did not know. Obviously, there was no live stream yesterday. I had tradesmen around the house from like 7 o'clock in the morning, and the show normally starts at 9, and they were here until 5:30. So actually 6 o'clock actually. So it was just banging and constant, and I always was getting interrupted, always getting asked questions. I was helping. It was just chaotic. So yeah, it's all done now until Friday, Thursday and Friday. We'll see how we go for that. But by the end of this week, all the kitchen should be done. So thumbs up for that. All right, let's jump into it. So Colorado Christian Cakeshop sued a third time for discrimination. By this point, it really does seem like it is just a case of them going through and just harassing somebody. Does it not? Does anybody else get the idea that this just seems like it's harassment? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. That's better. So jumping into it, the owner of the Masterpiece Cakeshop, which won a case back by the US Supreme Court recently, was sued for a third time this week. Jack Phillips, the Lakewood, Colorado bakery owner, who has refused to bake cakes that violate his Christian faith, is being sued again by Outram Centria, a transgender woman, for refusing to bake a gender transition cake. By this stage, you really do have to wonder if people are just turning up to this shop just to order these stupid ass cakes. And then at the end of the day, when they get told no, okay, we're going to see you. Oh, bummer. Oops, well, and that was the plan all along. Sonia claims that the textbook LBGT discrimination, but Phillips says that she is rehearsing old claims that hold no merit, and I think I'd have to agree with him. I think this is going to get thrown out in court. Phillips described himself as an artist who uses cakes as canvas to express ideas and celebrate events. He has insisted that he doesn't want to do something that goes against his faith. He said the case against him have directly affected his family and business and faces death threats and harassment. The Supreme Court ruled in favour of Phillips last year in the case where he refused to bake a cake for the same-sex wedding. The High Court ruled in Colorado Civil Rights Commission showed anti-religious bias when it filed a discrimination charge against Phillips. The commissioner then filed another complaint against Phillips after he refused to make a cake celebrating a gender transition. He in turn sued the state, claiming he was being sued out of his religious beliefs. The commission and Phillips agreed to drop their case in March after discovery showed anti-religious hostility from the state towards the family-run bakery. Scania decided to pursue separate litigation, which attorneys filed Wednesday in district court. The dignity of all citizens in our state needs to be honoured, Masterpiece Cakeshop said before the Supreme Court. They would serve any baker good to members of the LGBT community. It was just the religious significance of it being a wedding cake. Paula Grinson, one of the attorneys representing Scania, told the local CBS station, "We don't believe they're honest with the public." Scania claims Phillips violated Colorado's Anti-Discrimination Act and Consumer Protection Act for refusing to bake a birthday cake celebrating the plaintiff's gender transition, which was to be blue on the outside and pink on the inside, symbolizing a transition from male to female. Jim Campbell, senior counsel for the Alliance Defending Freedom, which has represented Phillips in other cases, called it further harassment rehashing old claims. So, this is the latest attack by Skinnier. Looks like another desperate attempt to harass Cakeshop artist Jack Phillips, Campbell said, and it stumbles over one detail that matters most. Jack serves everyone, he just cannot express all messages through his custom cakes. At the end of the day, look, I really do find it really funny that the people that are advocating for YouTube to go through and to censor conservatives are somewhat okay with suing a cake shop who refuses to serve its customers. You're okay with a monopoly giant like YouTube banning conservatives off YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and everything like that. But when it comes to a bakery, which, by the way, dime a dozen, you are completely against him going through and actually refusing to service people. The irony on that, there's actually, if you ask me, a bigger case against YouTube than there is against this bakery. You can go anywhere to get a bakery. Name another viable YouTube-like platform that has half the reach that YouTube does. And I'll wait for your response. So at the end of the day, look, obviously he's been on Fox News. We'll play that for you very quickly.
A major victory to tell you about in a high-profile religious liberty case. The Colorado Civil Rights Commission ended its ongoing war with Jack Phillips, the owner of Masterpiece Cakeshop. The decision came after Alliance Defending Freedom discovered evidence showing the commission's hostility towards religion. Well, here to discuss this very important case is Jack Phillips and the attorney who argued his case before the Supreme Court, Kristen Wagner. Welcome to you both. So, Kristen, I want to start with you because when the headlines came out yesterday, a lot of folks were saying, well, wait a second, we thought this guy won at the Supreme Court. What's going on here?
Well, he absolutely did win at the Supreme Court. But what happened was on the day the Supreme Court agreed to hear Jack's case, a transgender lawyer set up Jack to have another complaint against him, requesting a cake that would celebrate a gender transition, blue on the outside, pink on the inside of the cake. Jack politely declined. A little bit later, the lawyer called again and asked for a cake celebrating Satan's birthday. Again, Jack said, I'll sell you other cakes, but I simply make my decisions based on the message of the cake. And 24 days after the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in Jack's favor, the same commission that the U.S. Supreme Court rebuked for its hostility towards Jack came after him again with this new complaint.
Jack, this must have been a roller coaster for you. I mean, you come off that Supreme Court high and then all of a sudden this.
Yeah, the Supreme Court was an amazing thing to get there, to be there and see how that happened, and then to get our great decision 7-2 in our favor. You know, you think this is really good. We win, we can go on with life. And less than 3 weeks later, we get sued again for this new suit, where even though I serve everybody who comes into my shop and always have for 25 years, it's just the message of the cake that I may not be able to create. This cake is one of those that was pink on the inside and blue on the outside, signifying a change in gender from male to female. And I told this customer that that's not a cake that we could create. We could do other cakes and be glad to serve them. That just didn't work out. And the Civil Rights Commission sued us again.
Kristen, clearly Jack here was targeted.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Absolutely. And so what we did in response was, rather than allow those commissioners to again draw Jack into 6 years of litigation and picketing and death threats and those kinds of things, we took the case into federal court and we asked the federal court to decide. We wanted a fair hearing, and that paid off in spades.
And let's talk about that, because there was discovery, and you guys discovered some very interesting nuggets about the Civil Rights Commission there in Colorado. What did you find out?
We did. The deeper that we dug, the more we found of just incredible hostility and anti-religious bias by this commission. A sitting commission member said that there was anti-religious bias on the commission. And if you recall, in the Supreme Court's decision, they talked about how a sitting commissioner had compared Jack's faith to perpetrators of the Holocaust and said it was despicable rhetoric to use religious freedom as a basis for any decision. And actually, the sitting commission members this time around not only said they disagreed with the Supreme Court's decision, but they embraced those previous statements that were so overtly hostile to Jack, and even said they should be more outspoken and more transparent about this anti-religious hostility they have.
And Jack.
All right, so I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to play the whole thing. But at the end of the day, you sort of get the idea of everything that this poor guy has gone through. Look, at the end of the day, what's my view on this? Look, YouTube, I don't think YouTube should censor people because they are a monopoly, okay? They are an information important service. They're like telecommunications. It literally is telecommunications of sorts, right? Uses the internet. So, but a bakery, for example, you can go down the street and bump into another baker. There are bakers all over the places, okay? You're not going through, and it's not a specific service that a specific group of people provide. Now, obviously, if there was a competitor to YouTube and like it was like, 100 YouTubes all on the internet, then, maybe you can make that argument it's the same thing. But I do think it's vastly different. And I do think it's absolutely insane that people will sit there and advocate for YouTube to deplatform people because it's a private business. But then when it comes to Cakers Bakes, it's like, anyway. Look, yeah, I think that this guy's been targeted. I think that the people are just trying to sue him now because they just have a problem with them. I don't know what the stance is in Colorado. If you lose a court case, do you have to pay court fees or something like that? I know in California that's some cases. But at the end of the day, look, good luck to him. I hope he wins again. And I really do think that they are just trying to drag him through court constantly. Just because at the end of the day, they just don't like this guy. It's harassment. It really, really is. I wonder if they have a Twitter account. I'm not encouraging anybody to harass them, but I was going to say, maybe Twitter could ban the Twitter account for harassment. I don't know. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Apart from that, guys, obviously that's where I'm going to leave this video. There will be 3 videos today. We're going to talk about this, we're going to talk about Julian Assange, and we're going to talk about probably the Democrats being nominating their speaker or their adjudicator for the primary debates. So look out for those other 2 videos, maybe a 4th one. But apart from that, guys, have a great day. Enjoy. Let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, we will see you tomorrow. Have a great night and enjoy.